today's episode, I am super excited because I have £70,000 to spend on a fun weekend car. These are the two I'm going to pick from. This is a Lotus Evora 400 and this is a Jaguar F-Type SVR. I'm going to be looking at space, interior, looks, how do they drive, and most importantly, which one is going to give me the biggest thrill. Oh, maximum. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to give you my honest opinion on which one of these cars I want to take home. It's the weekend and it's time to party. Right, before we jump into these cars, I want to hear what they sound like. First up, we've got the Evora 400 and we've got the exhaust button on, so the valves are completely open. Let's hear what this puppy sounds like. Let's go. Whoa, okay, whoa. Okay, I think we got the picture. Wow. Okay, now it's time for the SVR. Let's hear it. Okay, wow, a little bit of different noise, isn't it, from the Lotus? Oh, that's hard. Both really different. That's really dirty and crackly and deeper. That's a little bit more supercar sounding, so I'm going to say, I think I prefer that sound. Right, I'm going to jump inside the SVR first and find out what it's all about.
Now, looking at both of these cars side by side, there is no way you can tell me the Jag is an ugly looking car. It's a 2017, so it doesn't get the new facelift with those slender angular lights, but it does look meaty and wide. And this is the last of the SVRs. So let's jump in and see what's what.
Right, first impressions, what you would expect: a plush, luxurious cabin, great materials, and Alcantara suede all over. What you would expect from Jaguar Land Rover. Great contrasting of the stitching on the side, leather steering wheel, gorgeous sunroof. The interior is lovely, and another little techie bit which I love are the vents, how the vents just sort of pop up out of the front dash. Really cool. Enough about that. I want to find out a little bit more how this thing handles and how it drives. So I'm going to find some nice windy B roads. Some of the stats, let's go through them. So we've got a 567 brake horsepower. We've got 700 Newton meters of torque. It's a 5-litre V8 supercharged unit. And on the straight roads, boy, you can feel it. I've got a number of modes here, but the only mode really you want to talk about is dynamic mode. You've got a switch here on the center console. Everything goes red on your dash, and that's when you know that that 8-speed gearbox is going to give you, oh, maximum. Oh, that feels so good. So let's talk about the F-Type SVR. They're not making any more of these, so it's quite an exclusive car. The last time they made an SVR was in 2020, and now the top spec trim for an F-Type is just the R. Now, in 2017, the trim level under this one was 25 kilograms heavier. This one's got 25 brake horsepower more, 30 Newton meters of torque more. It's lighter, it's stiffer, it's faster, and it's just a more complete beast. And it's comfortable. What I've noticed, just cruising along, it's really comfortable. Now for a sports car, I just expected a little bit more of a firmer ride, and actually they changed this a little bit from the trim level below back in 2017. You got 5% softer springs at the front, stiffer springs at the back, but it really works. It feels really good, and I've got it just in normal mode now, but when the steering's very comfortable, very light, very direct, but as soon as I flick my finger down into dynamic mode, immediately exhaust valve is open, steering stiffens up, I get that feedback through the wheel, and I know it's the weekend and it's time to party. Oh my God, that noise. That V8 is so grunty. It's just such a dirty noise, and it's excitable. So for a sports car, for the weekend, I feel like the F-Type SVR is kind of a complete package. I've got the space, I've got 407 litres of boot space. That's pretty decent. It's all-wheel drive, so I know the UK winters when it's cold, this thing's gonna be fine in the snow and the rain. And so far, I could daily this. This is so comfortable. I've got that power when I need it, but also I can flick it out of dynamic mode and just sit back and chill. So whilst cruising along in this F-Type SVR, you might be thinking, okay, how many miles to the gallon does it do? Well, that's a good question. Now, Jaguar say 25 mpg, but when you're looking for a fun weekend car, that's the last of your worries. And I'm looking on my average gauge here on my digital display, and it's saying 20.6 miles to the gallon so far. So real world setting, there you go. I'm just giving you cold hard facts. They say 25 at the moment, I'm getting 20.6. Right, I found myself a nice B road. I'm slamming it over into sport, dynamic mode on, everything go fast. Let's see how this thing handles. Oh my gosh. It does feel quite light, actually. Going around there, the steering's very positive, very direct. It's just point and shoot. I love these paddles. I love these metallic paddles behind. 8-speed gearbox. That, oh my gosh, I can just feel the front of the car lift up there. Let's drop it down, nice corner here. But this car, country roads, this Jag handles it with ease. And the accelerator is so responsive. I'm not even kidding, it is so sensitive. Oh! Another thing that we forget about this Jaguar SVR, oh, those crackles. This thing can hit 200 miles per hour, so that's like supercar territory. Not that you'd want to do it on these UK country roads, but you get this thing on the track, oh my gosh, you're gonna have some fun. The feedback through the steering wheel is great. Oh my gosh, this thing is nuts. Weekend fun car, tick. So one of the things I love to do, and it's very exciting, it gives me a thrill, is just a stop and go. Jaguar says 0 to 60, this thing can do 3.5 seconds. I want to feel that power into sport, dynamic mode on. Let's go. Whoa, my gosh. Okay, that is good. That is good. Whoa. Pump the brakes there, fella. Okay, that was thrilling. That was so quick. Right, I need to go back and try out the Evora now and see if it's as fun as this car.
Now the Evora looks completely different to the Jaguar, and your eyes are immediately drawn to the back of this car, where you are greeted by that fantastic spoiler. This looks more of a supercar than the Jaguar and gives off more of a racetrack car vibe. Let's jump in and see what it's all about.
So I'm now in the Lotus Evora 400. First impressions, it's a little bit more cramped, a little bit more claustrophobic in here, but with the Evora, is there more luxurious model than the Exige and the Elise? For example, I've got power steering in this, and suede everywhere, Alcantara on the doors, very nice, heated seats as a little bit of an option there as well. So get the power down a bit. Very nice in second gear into third. So I've got a 6-speed manual, so already this car is a little bit more engaging. I've got a couple of seats behind me. You wouldn't put anyone back there unless they are your enemy, but it is a little bit of space for you to put your backpack and so forth. But I can see how they've tried to make it a little bit more luxurious, but it isn't quite the same as the SVR I've just jumped out of. So in this Evora, it's all about Lotus's ethos. Colin Chapman of the past, power to weight ratio. This car weighs 1,395 kilograms. That is 325 kilograms lighter than the SVR I've just jumped out of. So if you're gonna compare these two on a track, the lightweight and the balance of this car should be getting better lap times, and it does feel agile. It feels like I'm just in a go-kart, and that's what Lotus lovers and Lotus owners love about the brand, is that they strip everything back. And the Evora's a little bit different because With the Exigene, at least, they strip so much back. With this, they're trying to make it a little bit more of a cruiser, a GT car. That's why you've got some of these options. The infotainment is terrible, but Lotus don't spend their money on developing an infotainment, do they? So that's aftermarket. But it feels lightweight, it feels nimble. It's still got those Lotus characteristics. Would I daily this? I don't know if it's as comfortable as the Jaguar SVR I just got out of, but I'm looking for a fun weekend car. So it doesn't really matter too much about if you can daily this. It's all about the thrill. Which one's got the biggest thrill? And with this, you definitely feel more connected to the road. Okay, I'm going to drop this thing into sport mode. I'm going to go down the same road I did with the SVR and see how this thing handles. It feels so direct, the steering. Oh, it sounds like a Formula 1 car. The sound's incredible. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, can you hear that noise? That noise is incredible. And the steering, that's smooth. The suspension's been smooth so far. And this coming out here, oh my gosh, that sounds, I feel like I'm on a track, even though I'm on the UK roads. It's nuts. It's definitely got that level of excitement. And because it's a little bit more compact and it's not as wide as that SVR, you just feel a little bit more confident to get the power down through those corners and that exhaust. Wow. And that's on sport mode, so that exhaust is fully open. This has given me so much food for thought. I much prefer the bonnet on this as well. It's very short and shallow. I can see over the edge. It just feels like I'm in control of the car. So, stats on this Lotus Evora. We have got, sitting behind me, a 3.5 V6 Toyota engine. I know, exactly. Also, you're thinking about, oh, what kind of brake horsepower? Well, it's a Lotus 400, isn't it? So you think 400 brake, but this one has actually had a Comotech tune from a Hangar 111, and they've tuned it to 460 brake horsepower, 410 Newton meters of torque. So the stats are a little bit off from the SVR, but you remember the lightweight values of this car. So in this Evora, you've got an array of different buttons up the top here. You've got the heated seats, which is pretty fancy for Lotus. You've got an exhaust button here. Let's press that, and that opens up the valve so we can hear this. Just, oh, now we can hear some noise. That's, oh, very nice. So Lotus say that the Evora 400 could do 4.1 seconds in 0 to 60, but this is tuned 460 brake horsepower. So I want to feel that thrill. I'm going to jam it in first. Let's see what we do. Oh my gosh, that sounds insane. Whoa, and the brakes are good. They're real good. Oh my god, my heart is beating. My heart is beating. That was nuts. So I would like to think that 0 to 60 was a little bit below a 4.1 because of the tune, but I think my heart was racing a little bit more then. I don't know what it was. I think it was the noise of the V6 just whirring behind me, and it was brilliant. I felt in control of the car. It was agile. It was just so direct, and that definitely was a great buzz. Now, a question probably that needs answering is, can you daily this? You probably could, but like with the SVR, that's got more boot space. We spoke about the boot space in that, didn't we? That had 407 litres. This has got 160 litres of boot space. However, you can get some golf clubs in the back. I am literally burning daylight having fun in this car. So let's talk about MPG. We said the SVR was 25 combined, they were saying. This is 24 MPG, but again, I'm looking for a fun weekend car. I don't care about MPG. This is very engaging. Having it as a manual and being able to change down this little notchy gearbox, it just feels so mechanical. And you have to concentrate, you've got to focus. I've had it on sport mode pretty much for the majority of my time in this car, and absolutely, I've loved it. And the V6, the noise is incredible. We agreed, it's the better sounding car. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. But it's time for me to take this car back to Centurion and make my decision. What am I going to choose? Choices. Wow, what a car, what an episode. Now for a graceful exit. Oh, very cool. Oh my gosh, what fun I have had today. These cars, they are insane. Right, I need to tell you what I'm going to choose. My personal opinion for my fun weekend car has got to go to this car. This car is insane. This Evora with the tune 460 bhp. As soon as I got in this car, I forgot about the SVR. Yes, this car is incredible. The power on this car, it's more comfortable. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to, because this is the car for me. I've literally blown my load on this car. It's £71,000, so my budget is gone. That was 4K cheaper, but I'm gonna go for this. Both cars are available to buy at Centurion Automotive. Big thanks to them for letting me have a little play. What I wanna know is, have I chose the right car? Let me know in the comments down below. Throw me a like, get subbed, and I'll see you on the next one.